Hey folks, welcome back to the Toronto Marlies Insider. The Marlies hosted the Charlotte Checkers for the second time in as many days, looking for a little bit of revenge for last night's loss. So let's jump into it. But before we do that, we want to give a special shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. SeatGeek is the best place to go if you're looking for tickets to a sporting event, concert or a live show. Click the link below and use code Toronto Marlies Insider, all one word, to get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek will let you know if the tickets you want are a good value or not with their 1 to 10 rating system to ensure you always get the best bang for your buck. So make sure you check them out and use the promo code Toronto Marlies Insider to save $20. The Marlies took the lead with about 7 minutes left in the first thanks to Topi Niemela's first goal of the season. A big shout out to Zach Solo for this creative pass to set him up. Josiah Slavin also got the assist. The first period ended 1-0 to the Marlies. Shots on net were 8-3 in favour of Toronto. The Marlies doubled their lead 6 minutes into the second. Alex Steeves with his first goal of the season on a nice little wraparound shot that may have taken a slight deflection or two, but he won't care, they all count. You can tell how much this goal meant to him from his celebration. As you'll hear later in this video, he himself admitted that he probably should have had a few more goals tonight, but we're all just happy to see him get his first of the year. Max Ellis and Ryan Torberg with the assists. With just over 5 minutes left in the second, the Checkers got off the board thanks to a bit of a freak goal that may have caught Martin Jones by surprise. Riley Bizot flung the puck towards the net from behind the goal line and it hit Jones in the pads with a stick and kind of trickled in. The goal was unassisted. At the end of the second period, the Marlies led 2-1 and there was more than a few worried faces in the arena considering how the previous night went. Shots in the second were 9-8 to Toronto. The concern of the fans in attendance had soon turned to a bit of a mild case of panic when Ryan Torberg was assessed a very weak penalty for cross-checking. Take a listen to what Todd Crocker and Danielle Bain had to say about it.
The Checkers are going to get another chance on their power play. Ryan Torberg gets in on the forecheck and...
oh my goodness.
It's not a lot.
Oh my goodness.
So having conceded that very soft penalty, this goal itself was a little bit soft. Firstly, Joe Bandisi was very unlucky to lose his balance as he was trying to exit the zone, but then he and Captain Logan Shaw allowed Rasmus Alblund to waltz between them instead of Bertalpi. Jones made a nice stick poke initially to stop him from scoring, but he made no mistake with the rebound and slid a little backhander under the pads of Jones. With the score level at 2-2, there was a real tension in the crowd and you could really feel it. But however, that was lifted when the Marlies got a power play goal of their own. There was a few seconds left on a 5-on-3 and some slick passing from Shaw and Ambrosisi created the chance for Nick Robertson to slot home his third goal of the year. The Marlies then put the game to bed with about 48 seconds left when Joe Blandisi slotted home the empty netter after some great hustle from Kyle Clifford. Cliffy, as he is known, took a bit of a shot to the head on the boards and appeared to be going after Santu Kinnunen, who I don't feel guilty about pronouncing his name wrong yesterday, only for Shaw and Blandisi to stop him. Shaw got credit with the assist also.
Joe Blandisi, what a start to this season he's had, but this all starts from Logan Shaw fighting for that puck.
Yeah, you're right about that. He won that battle, used his body to get in the right position and move that puck off.
The game ended 4-2 to the Marlies and shots in the third were 8-5 to Toronto, meaning a total of 25-16 in favour of the Marlies. There are a few things I've noted in this game. The Marlies conceded 7 penalties to the Checkers 3. The power play went 1 for 3 and the penalty kill went an impressive 1 for 7. Not a lot of teams, especially in the AHL, can absorb 7 penalties and still win, so head coach John Gruden has to be happy with how well the penalty kill unit were today, but on the other side he has to be upset that we gave away 7 penalties to begin with, regardless of how soft they were. Another issue was goal scoring. I feel like this is going to be a theme for the rest of the season, which I get is also a bit weird to say when your team just won 4-2, but just like last night, the Marlies should have had a lot more goals considering the chances we had. Alex Steeves, who was actually awarded first star of the game, had a couple of gilt-edged chances that you would have expected him to score. One off the top of my head I could think of is a one-on-one with the goalie, but he simply just left the puck behind him as he was about to pull the trigger. John Gruden and his team will focus on things like this and not let the shine of the victory get in the way of things that need to be improved. It's still early days and the team do have a 2-1-1 record, which is not too bad. So it's far from doom and gloom, and we would still expect this Marlies team to make the playoffs comfortably and maybe make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. Speaking of Steeds and head coach John Gruden, here's what they, along with Nick Abruzzese, had to say to the media after the game.
Nick, this game felt similar to yesterday, like a grind back and forth. What do you think was the difference maker to get you guys the win here today?
I think we just mentally kind of stuck around in the game as back and forth, not a ton of great opportunities either way, but I thought the penalty kill did a great job. Obviously, we'd like to stay out of the box a little more, but they did a good job making a lot of really good kills, especially down the stretch, and then we're able to make a play on the power play, and yeah, just a lot of good defense.
As a player, what's the mentality on the penalty kill when it's kind of one after the other after the other?
I think it's just staying committed. They did a great job of just kind of suffocating. I don't think they had a ton of great chances, so it was a good job of executing the game plan.
You played a lot with Logan Shaw last year. How do you feel that experience can help you guys build on that this year?
I think that it's really important, and it's obviously nice to play with the player that you've got a lot of reps with. And yeah, I think that we're looking to just kind of build off the chemistry we built last year and just hopefully continue that this year.
He was only here for a short time at the end of last year, but what has been your impression of Ryan Torberg and what he can add to the team?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's got good speed. He thinks the game really well. He works really hard. I'm really excited to see what he does for us this year.
It's still early, but how do you feel about your game at the beginning of the season?
I think it's been pretty good. I think there's some things to continue to work on and clean up. I've been overall fairly happy with it so far, but just trying to continue to get better every game.
Alex, you guys were on the winning end of things today. What do you think was the difference compared to yesterday?
I think we did a lot of the same things as yesterday, just more consistently. We were more connected on our exits and our forecheck. I thought we did a better job of creating offense off of our forecheck. Limiting the amount of chances against Jonesy, who played really well tonight. I thought yesterday we didn't give him a ton of shots either, but just cashing in on some chances, got a special teams goal, which was huge. Our PK was great. It feels like the first game of the year where we won the special teams battle, and in my experience in this league, when you win the special teams, you're definitely ahead of the pack. So it was just I thought a more consistent effort.
Speaking of the penalty kill, what's the mindset as a player when it's kind of just one after another and you're just grinding through those?
Yeah, definitely got to lean on our penalty killers. I haven't been one of them, so for me it's just trying to stay in the game, cheer those guys on. They did an awesome job tonight, and then be ready to get going again when my name's called.
What's it like having Joe Blandisi as a teammate? Because he fires you guys up on the ice, off the ice, but then he also gets under the skin of his opponents.
Yeah, Joe is just a tremendous. He's been a tremendous addition to the organization since he came here. He's an Ontario kid. He loves to be out there. He doesn't have any ego at all. He's just pouring his heart out every game, cheering guys on, wants the best for everybody. Happens to be one of my best friends, so maybe more so than others even. I'm so happy to watch him have success.
You got your first goal of the season here today. How'd that feel, and what was the excitement level?
Yeah, it felt really good. To be honest, I feel like I could have had 3 or 4 tonight. But I'll take one. I don't want to be greedy. First couple games, I didn't think I was getting enough shots. Usually I'm a pretty high volume shot player, and I thought the past couple games I did a better job of getting pucks on net, so happy to see one fall.
Since you've been here for a couple seasons now, if you look at last year compared to this year, what's been your impression of this group?
It's pretty similar to last year. We have our leadership group's the same. We still have Petruzzelli. We got a lot of similar guys. So I think mainly it's just hopefully continued growth. assimilating the new guys who are here, and just trying to get better. So it's last year obviously didn't end the way we wanted it to, with how things were kind of going around January, February. So I think we still got a lot of work to do. We're only 500, but I feel like in general we were the better team this weekend. So there's definitely some positivity to build on.
It seemed like when you scored your goal, you were pretty excited about it. Does that give you a boost of confidence when the first one goes in?
100%. I mean, you never want like those games to start stacking up, and even if you're doing the right things, you see that 0. So getting the first one definitely feels nice. Then again, if that had been my 15th of the year, I probably would have had the same celebration. I love scoring goals. It's what I live for. So it's just really nice. There's no better feeling. So I always won't pass up on a celebration.
Coach, you guys come out on the winning end of this one. What do you think was the difference between yesterday's game and today?
Well, I think there's a lot of little differences within the game, like the block shots, just the commitment level of our guys, understanding what was at stake, and they were a tough team. They made it hard on us, but they took advantage. We took advantage of things that we could kind of help ourselves with, but credit to our players, they executed.
Speaking of, the defensive end of things, you held them to just 16 shots. Can you speak to kind of the defensive end of the game today?
Well, I think that goes with the block shots. A lot of block shots. It's just taking away time and space. I mean, they play with a lot of pace, and when you give teams like that a little bit more room, they're going to make you pay. The penalty kill was outstanding. Even though they got the one, I thought we did a lot of good there. Made it difficult on them on their entries, and again made it hard. So it was a big part of it. It was a big reason why we won this game.
What have you noticed, or has anything stood out on the Shaw, Abruzzese, and Torberg line?
Well, I think they kind of gel well together. I think they got a little of everything. One thing is they move the puck quick. When you move the puck quick, a lot gets done. And it just seems like they all kind of know, like they've been playing together for a while or something. So I thought they did a lot of good things. Just too bad that there was too many special teams where they didn't get to go out as much as you'd like to see.
What was your impression of Martin Jones? I know it's his second game only, but just a couple weird goals out there tonight.
Yeah, but again, he's no big deal type attitude. I think that it didn't translate to anything after that. I think he was just as solid as he was. I'm sure he'd probably like to have him back, but at the end of the day, it didn't affect how he was going to finish the game. And you could see just the experience he had just calmed things down for us.
Still early, but what have you learned about Topi Niemela since the beginning of the season?
Well, what I like about him, he plays. I mean, he's not per se for a defenseman, but he's not afraid to get involved. I mean, he makes that big save, but more importantly, made some really nice blocks too. So that's for him. That's understanding what's important on the ice, and he really is just a guy that you can count on in all situations.
Our next game is against the Milwaukee Admirals back at the Coliseum on Tuesday at 7. But before that, another huge thanks to our season-long sponsor SeatGeek for their continued support. Make sure you click the link below and use our promo code to save yourself $20. As always, we hope to see you at the Coliseum, but if not, we'll catch you in the next one.